Hi folks, and welcome to Understeer Central. I mean Suzuka. Yeah, let's get on for the fast lap. So fast lap done and dusted, and if you would notice the steering inputs, be very careful around here, particularly going through the S's. The understeer is ridiculous in this thing. It's bad anyway, and then this circuit has not helped it. I love Suzuka. It's a great circuit. Can I drive it? Not a chance. But do what I don't do here anyway. The lap I'm actually going to show you is lap number 8, so 153.768. We nipped into the 53s quite often. There's a 53.9, a 53.8, but otherwise we did have a few spins in places, so we'll keep an eye out for them. Turn 1, where we are now, very tricky, very tricky braking zone, so be cautious into there. There will be a lot of people going right and potentially spinning on circuit, so bear that in mind. Info tab for you, track usage 44% is what we always use. Track temp 85 Fahrenheit, which is pretty standard. At least it's not as scalding hot as it has been in previous races. And you can see they're identical to the Suzuka setup, sorry. So yeah, done and dusted. Above my head, you should see my Discord, OLAP, BLAT, telemetry replay file, and a little screenshot of the sector times will all be in there for your beneficial needs, and a little Google Docs as well that show you the track guide schedule that I plan to do for the rest of this season. Otherwise, enough of me waffling, let's crack on with the breakdown. Right then, Suzuka, not one of my favourite tracks because I'm not very good at it, but we are here in the radical SR10, and turn 1 is very tricky in this thing. So just at that sort of dirt patch there before the surface road, brake to the apex, careful of the car rotating to the rear end. You can see me counter steer a few times, very gentle through here. Make sure you hit this second apex. Don't worry too much about the first one, but hit this second apex and get a good smooth throttle application. Do not run too far wide here. That grass does appear very quickly. These S's now, big lift for the first one. This car naturally understeers, which is really awkward through here, so just make sure you take it steady. You know, slow in, fast out to all of these is going to be your key around here. Don't scrub the front tyres, don't overheat them as much as you can, just take it nice and easy. Make sure you stick the car on the apex of each of these S's. They're swinging from backwards and forwards, but this one, you really want to go slow around. You really want to compromise this one to stay on the right-hand side of the track here to open up this final left-hander. We can't take it full throttle, but we need to take it as full throttle as we can, just to get a good slingshot down to the two Degners. Do not run wide. Again, that curve's very narrow, and the grass does appear very quickly, and you do spin out quite easily. So coming down to Degner 1, and what we want to do just before the 50 board, a couple of car lengths before it, brake nice and easy. You can clip a little bit of that curb, but not too much because the SR10 will fly. And just before this dirt patch here on the left hand side, you want to brake again, down another cog on the gearbox. Be careful of the rear end coming out there, and don't run too far wide here. I don't know how that wasn't an off track, but there is an off track there, so be very cautious. Coming to the hairpin now, brake just at the apex. So I'm just lifting off and gradually getting on the brake, and then once I'm getting a straight line, increase the brake pressure. It is very sketchy on the braking this thing, particularly with the high friction pads. iRacing, please change that for next season. We need medium pads. But get on throttle as early as we can. Try and minimize that wheel spin. Get a good exit, because all we're going to do is be full throttle for a very, very long time now to a corner called Spoon, or 2 corners called Spoon, I should say. I think it's 2, but apparently it's 1. So yeah, right hand side of the circuit, service road just here. Brake nice and smoothly as easy as you can, and bring it into the apex. Do not touch the curb. You see I miss it and run wide a little bit, so you want to be a little bit more in than what I was, but don't touch the curb because we're going to settle. Just as the curb ends on the right hand side, brake again. Coast around here. Really awkward corner because it dips away, so the car will understeer on an already understeery car. So make sure you don't run wide. Make sure you get a good full throttle application out of there, no wheel spin or anything, to throw you down to 130R. Be very careful on cold tyres around here. It is so easy. So dab of brakes here on the first few laps, but when you get nice and warm and confident, 50-meter board, big lift, you can take a bit of the apex curve without too much problem, and then get on power as soon as you can. Last chicane now. This is the earliest I've ever broken in a car ever. So you like at the 200-meter board or whatever the number was, braking a nice heavy straight line. Do not lock a tyre. It's very, very easy to do, but just be cautious through there. Brake nice and easy. Stay in second gear. I find that's the best one. Loads of curb on this one. Try and get on full throttle as early as you can, because again, we are full throttle for a very long time on this start-finish straight, and it will help your next lap. But that is us done and dusted across the line. And that is a 1:53.768. So I probably could go a little bit quicker, but I'm kind of struggling with this car with the understeer at the moment in time, and yeah, the braking is very cautious. You need a nice planted front end on this track, particularly through the S's, so just be cautious through there. See the checkered flag is my advice. There will be plenty of spinners. There is enough places to lose control of this car, so just make sure you see the checkered flag. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.